Did you know that the average American spends $600 per year on restaurant tips? That's literally a month of rent, and that's not even accounting for DoorDash or Uber or hookers. This tipping culture has unsurprisingly bred a bunch of assholes who unironically feel entitled to a 30% tip just for breathing the same air as them. Like this one time, I went to go eat at this Chinese restaurant with my boy Calvin, and the server, we'll call him Sam, he seated us in one of those janky outdoor booths, even though there was like no one else at the restaurant. After we sit down, he just vanishes back into the restaurant for like 15 minutes. So we're out here waiting to order in the freezing cold, and bro is chilling inside, jerking himself off. Sam eventually comes back out, and we finally place our orders, and we get our food. At this point, it's like 12 a.m., and we haven't eaten anything all night, so we're starving, and we tear that shit down. But the food is saltier than the Atlantic Ocean. After we finish, Calvin starts dying from dehydration. This guy needs water, but where the fuck is Sam? There's literally no one else here except for us. This guy might have had a heart attack and is waiting for us to call an ambulance. But Sam eventually comes back out. He doesn't even say a word. He just drops off our bill and immediately retreats back inside like a pussy. Everything up until this point is honestly nothing too crazy. Like, you can't go to a Chinese restaurant and expect good service, just like how you can't go to school in Kentucky and expect to not get shot. When we get our receipt back, we notice something highly suspect. On the bottom, there's a random additional charge of like $3.76, but there's no label next to it, so we have no idea what it's for. We're thinking, oh, okay, the tip's already included, which is weird, but whatever. We're just trying to dip at this point. As we're getting ready to go, Sam just spawns in like he's a fucking Enderman and beelines for the receipt. And I shit you not, the first words to ever come out of this man's mouth this whole night, why no tip? The audacity out of fucking nowhere. So I'm like, was the tip not already included? And he's like, no, that's a credit card fee. All while giving us the nastiest death glare I have ever bestowed my eyes upon. And I'm Asian, so I'm fully desensitized to the look of anger and disappointment. You're telling me this man no comms the entire night, and all of a sudden he's out here like he just unlocked the right entitlement DLC. At this point, everybody's pissed, and I don't even know if Calvin's gonna make it. So we get up to leave, but Sam is blocking our way out as if he is waiting for us to like drop on our knees and start sucking his dick in exchange for forgiveness. Calvin, that lucky bastard, is near the exit, so he finds an opening and just slips out. I have no choice but to just forcefully squeeze past this guy and pray to Allah that he does not stab me in the process. As I brush through, this man looks me in the eye and insults my mother in Cantonese. And nobody talks shit about my mother except for me, so I turn around and I uppercut his ass back to China. Just kidding, I can't fight or speak Cantonese, so we book it. I look behind as we're leaving. He is standing there like the man emoji, and he's staring us down as if we had just gangbanged his mother while beating up his dad. It was crazy. All of a sudden, bro thinks he's John Wick. For what? As far as I'm concerned, the only tip that should be in the conversation is the tip of his dick jizzing all over our food. Like, to be honest with you, I wouldn't have had a problem with tipping him even after the negative service that this man provided if it weren't for the entitlement. Like, I've worked in the food industry where I too was an underpaid dog, but did I ever feel like I was entitled enough to get aggressive with customers just because I couldn't afford 2-ply toilet paper, all because my dog shit employer was paying me $3.17 an hour? No! It is insanity, and it's exactly what the employers want. Yeah, blame the customer for not paying your wages. Expose them on Twitter. It's their fault that you're out here living off half a can of Pringles. Not to mention, percentage-based tipping is so stupid and completely nonsensical for like a 90% of jobs. If I am not mistaken, a server's job is to just take my order and bring my food over from the kitchen and maybe occasionally waltz through and top off my water. So what difference does it make if I order chicken tendies off the kids menu as opposed to like lobster or something? What new service is being provided here that I'm apparently too ignorant to recognize? Or let's say I get a pizza delivered, right? I could get a pepperoni pizza, which is $17, but if I want to add more toppings, oh fuck! Now my pizza's $42. You're telling me the driver should be entitled to more than double their tip? For what? Does Domino's magically move 6 blocks farther every time I add a new topping? This other time, I went to a Michelin Star Korean restaurant with some of my friends, and let's just call our server Brandon. Now, unlike Sam, Brandon was actually doing his job as a server. He's refilling our waters, he's bringing us soju, he's restocking our banchan. Brandon's the fucking goat. When the bill comes, our friend Kelly wants to front the bill and asks us how much to tip, and we all agree on 20, and we start getting ready to leave. 5 seconds later, Brandon comes back, and he's like, I'm sorry, but could you guys actually tip a little bit more? And initially, I am baffled beyond belief. How shameless can one man be to beg for more than a 20% tip? You might as well put a gun to my head and call it a robbery. But then I look at the receipt. Kelly put down $20 instead of 20%, and our total was like $400. And if you're a genius, then you're probably thinking,
oh my god, a 5% tip? Absolutely despicable behavior.
But here's the thing, Kelly is not American. I don't even know where she's from. The only thing that I do know about her is that she gets
3% cash back on all of her dining purchases.
But it doesn't matter because the tipping culture in America is so fucked and literally does not exist anywhere else in the entire solar system. So when we said 20, she couldn't possibly fathom it being 20%. Every other species other than Americans knows that the obvious solution is to just pay the workers more and abolish tipping altogether. Like, do you have any idea how many ABGs I know who work in fancy-ass restaurants and make more than double the people who have master's degrees who are working in academia? Like, what? I can't even afford McDonald's without the 2 for $3 deal, and now I'm being forced to pay these people's wages lest I get canceled on Twitter? How is that even legal? Alright, I'm done venting. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're tired of getting scammed by capitalist America, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace!